welcome back. This is Truth Over Wine with Lily and
TJ.
So we're so happy you enjoyed our last video, but today we're going to discuss what you would tell your 20-year-old self.
It's a big topic.
That is a huge topic because who I am now is certainly not who I was back then.
Definitely not. And I wish I had somebody to tell me about myself at 20.
You know what? Yeah. I wish I had somebody to tell me a couple of things, right? So here we are trying to help you guys out.
We're going to tell you.
We're going to tell you now. So when we talk, what was the first thing you told me you would tell your 20-year-old self?
Stop pouring around. Yeah. Because we're young and a lot of us at a very young age, and mind you, I wasn't really whoring around at 20, but a lot of my friends were very much into their 20s because I was married already at 20. However, you know, that's a big deal. And a lot of time and energy and effort goes into that, you know, at 20. Which there's nothing wrong with it.
I guess a lot of time and energy goes into dating at that time.
Dating is one thing. Right?
Okay, so you're specifically talking about giving up.
Yeah, guys.
Right,
we're 20, you know.
I guess there are a lot of people doing it. It wasn't really my cup of tea. However,
it was around me. It was around me. Y'all know who you are. I promise I won't tell, but yeah, it definitely was around me.
I guess what I would tell my 20-year-old self, to piggyback on that, is that there's power in your panties.
The power of the cookie. The power of
I always used to tell, there are a couple of people who are going to remember, I used to tell you, your cookie makes the world go round. And it's so true. Do you understand wars are fought over your
cookies? Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
All sorts of religious wars are fought over
cookies.
There is power in it. So you don't have to give it to just anyone. You could pick and choose who you give it to. You have the power. You can make men do almost anything simply because of what you have in your jar.
I agree.
Right?
I agree.
So, and therefore, I guess the whole stop pouring around thing is more of a, you don't have to. You don't have to.
You don't have to.
Don't have to.
And use it wisely. Because sometimes when they take the cookie and they eat that cookie, they're gone. Once they get the cookie, it's over. Am I right or wrong?
And
I think everybody can relate to
who has
that.
the power at that point?
They do.
They do.
You lost the power.
You lost the power.
Power of the cookie.
There it is. High five. Power of the cookie.
The cookie.
No. We got him there.
No.
That was beautiful. The next thing she says to me is,
marry rich. Please be selective.
Tahani, there aren't a lot of football players waiting for us regular gals.
Marry rich. And if you don't marry rich, make sure that you gain money before you marry with your partner.
I think that's the better look. So I don't know if I would walk around saying marry rich.
If you can marry rich, do it. You'll skip the process. But if you can't, then that's okay. Trust me when I tell you.
I think what I would say more is make sure that you're able to take care of yourself before you get married. That way you don't have to count on him for everything. All right, she says marry rich, girl.
Please, yeah.
She says marry
selective.
rich. I'm saying, yeah, I agree with being selective, but
it's not pretty being 40 and being married and living with your parents still. Like, no, you don't want that. No. Make sure that if you do marry someone that doesn't have money, that's fine. But then you make sure that you build to making sure that y'all have money before you get married. Because if y'all get married and he still has nothing, most likely it's going to be a struggle.
I think that we should go to what I said, which would maybe bring some clarity to this. So I said love with your head and your heart.
Yeah, be smart about it.
So I think more the conversation is around making sure that whoever it is that you choose to be with, that you're thinking about your future. Like when you start thinking about who I'm having kids with, who I'm getting married to, that you start thinking about what they do, what haven't they done.
Yes. Love is not going to feed you. Love is not going to put gas in your car.
Your children
Love is not going to pay the mortgage.
Amen.
Love is not going to pay tuition. And even though sometimes we think that love is just going to, you know, it just gives us that air that we need to breathe. Well, guess what, guys? I'm sorry to burst that bubble, but that is not the case.
So she says marry rich. I say establish yourself before you get married.
Maybe not marry rich. Okay, maybe that was a little exaggerating. Marry smart.
Marry smart.
Marry smart.
We agree. High five. We agree. Marry smart.
All right, guys. So the next one we said is work for yourself.
Okay. So I know there are several people out there who have large student loans, and they did it with the hopes of being able to have these jobs that are going to make them buku dollars so they could pay them down. I get it. The world has fed us this, I don't want to call it a lie because some people are able to make it, but right now in this day and age, I know so many people who that just didn't work for them.
I know people that finished high school that make more money than doctors in their own businesses.
There's
Right?
something to be said about working for yourself and not working for other people.
And with that being said, there's nothing wrong with working for other people. We have, you know,
We both work.
We both work. We have corporate jobs, and
Your bills don't stop, so the bills
You
have to
need
get
to
paid.
work.
So you need to work.
however,
I think there's something to be said about being an entrepreneur.
Absolutely.
And being happy about what it is that you do every day. So when you stop being happy working for that other person, then what?
you have freedom. You have freedom, right? You want to get to that financial freedom, quite frankly. But a lot of us have so many different things that we're good at. We have different passions. Some people like photography. Some people like to cook. Some people like to organize. Some people like to event planning. They like event planning. There's so many different things that you can do. You know, do it as a side thing, and you never know. It might eventually lead you to great things. Work for yourself.
Work for yourself. I agree.
Definitely.
So the next thing that we talked about, which is a very serious topic, but I think it's something that we should talk about. Don't let hate consume you.
Yeah, because that not only consumes you and your surroundings, it destroys you, and it destroys your relationships around you as you get older.
So I think when I say hate, I mean hate and hurt. You know how as young people, so many different bad things happen to us, and we take that with us into our adult lives, and it takes away from the people that we could be. So you don't love yourself, you don't treat yourself or take care of yourself, then you don't know how to be loved, so you're not great in relationships.
You don't let people love you.
You don't let people love you, and then you're having children and you can't teach them.
It's a cycle.
It becomes a cycle.
And then your children grow up, and then your children grow up with that hatred and that animosity. And my mom did this to me, and my dad did that to me, and it's just a never-ending cycle.
Give it all back, honey.
Let it go.
For all the girls that have daddy issues, you do not have to grow up and be that girl. Everybody knows what we're speaking of. You have daddy issues? Yes, we get it. Almost all of us have. With that said, move on. Pick yourself up. Let it go. Do not let hate consume you, because you won't be able to be that precious gem that you want to be.
And it can take you 20, 30 years to finally realize that. And then you look back and you're like, wow, I wasted 20 years of my life
dealing with some sorry men.
No.
It's not worth it. Let it go. Let it go. Let it go.
Let it go.
Okay, we won't quit our day job.
No, absolutely not.
So, Tani, what's our next one?
So the next topic is going to be don't get married young.
Oh, so you have a lot of experience.
Don't do it. Don't do it. Think. It's okay. You don't have to run and get married and have kids at 18. You don't have to run away with your boyfriend at 21 because your parents are strict. You don't have to do it. Don't do it. Hold off.
No judgment for the people
That
who
have
got
done it.
married, right? Because
Who
there's
did.
some people who are happy who
Absolutely.
got married.
I
right?
have one of my dearest friends, you know, that her daughter got married young, and she's happy, and she's in a very good relationship.
Some very close friends.
Yeah.
Same situation.
Yeah.
But I think your 20s are so good.
They really are.
You are there to make mistakes. They're there to make mistakes. You're gonna fall apart. You're gonna do the wrong things. Enjoy it. Have a good time. It is okay. You don't have to have someone tied to your back the whole way through. Enjoy your life.
Have your boyfriend.
Have many boyfriends. Have many boyfriends. Go on dates. Wine. Let people wine and dine you. Just enjoy being you.
It's okay to date. It's okay to date.
It is okay to date.
Date as much as you want.
Date.
Have fun. Enjoy.
I think old school, back in the old school, you only had one person that you were with, and that was the end of the day, and then you get married to them.
Yeah, and your parents were like, oh, you got sex. What was it? Sex was like...
It was so taboo.
No, have fun.
Enjoy yourself.
Enjoy yourself.
Have fun. There's going to be plenty
responsible,
of time.
but have a great time.
Be responsible, but there's going to be plenty of time to settle down. So don't do it too early. I agree with that 100%.
Yeah.
I think to piggyback on that, I would add, live alone.
Absolutely. Learn how to live alone.
Yes.
Learn what you like, what you don't like.
Mm-hmm. In every aspect of your life. Mm-hmm. That's the only way you're going to be able to.
Show you responsibility as well.
Enjoy you. Mm-hmm. Love you. Get to know this beautiful person. Yeah. You can't do it if you're in a relationship. You just can't do it. Get to know you. Get to love you. Get to know your likes and your dislikes. Go on several dates and come back and say to yourself, yeah, no, cute and everything, but not for me.
And even if you are, there's some people that are in relationships and that don't like to date around and don't want to date around because they've been maybe with their high school sweethearts or whatever it is. Then stay in your relationship. Live alone. You still have friends. It's not just about that one person that you want to give your whole life and world to at 21. Live alone. Learn yourself. Be free. Go out with your friends.
Make sure that you're creating the healthiest you that you could possibly create
for you and your partner.
Yes.
Even if you end up getting married with your high school sweetheart, which is wonderful. But at least you have given yourself that opportunity to say, okay, I lived by myself for 2 years.
To learn how to be independent. Mm-hmm. To learn all those things. Oh my gosh, to do silly things like eat cookies in bed naked. Like, whatever it is that you do.
Ramen noodles.
What?
Every day, yeah.
You always, like 7-Eleven now, ramen noodles. I cannot.
7-Eleven beef patties.
Okay, I guess that's when you learned that you like 7-Eleven beef patties?
I never really lived alone.
Really?
I didn't live alone until I already had kids, so I never lived alone. I left my house at a very young age. I had my daughter when I was 18. I got married, and I got divorced when, later towards the end, I was like 26, 27, maybe 28, I think, I'm not sure, when I got divorced, but I ended up living by myself, but with 2 kids now, so you're not by yourself.
So she's speaking from experience. We definitely had 2 different experiences.
Yeah. You had the good old single great life.
Lived my best life all of my 20s.
See?
My best life. I traveled. I enjoyed myself. I moved all the way to the other side of the country by myself, didn't know anyone, and I got to know myself, and I was okay with being alone. And if I was going to get married, I was going to get married. But if I wasn't, I was still okay with this beautiful person that I was creating. I was journaling. I was exercising. I was seeing everything. I was drinking, enjoying wines and seeing everything. And I have no regrets because by the time it was time for me to get married, I had done everything. A lot of the things that I want to do. I think there's still a lot of things I want to do, but I had done a lot of them. So going into this new relationship, I was okay.
Yeah.
I think you're healthier that way.
It's healthier. It's better. And
live alone, guys.